Hello, my dear. Today I want to do something a bit special because it's Christmas and because I wanted to thank you, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about myself. So, I'm the White Witch, but I'm also Kelly. So, if you don't want to know more about the creature behind the White Witch, just skip this video. If you want to know about me, a little bit more about me, then you can stay here. So first of all, yes, I'd like to thank you for being part of my journey, being part of this wonderful world that I'm creating for you. I am very thankful that you follow the adventure of the White Witch and Meredith. And I think it would be a bit more fun to do something a bit unusual, to be a little bit more intimate, and to actually tell you a bit about my secrets. So, when I started my little story about the White Witch, some people asked me if I was a real witch. The answer is yes. I believe that I'm a witch, and I believe that many people on earth are witches and wizards because we're all creatures. We're all creatures of our lives, and we have magical abilities. So I'm holding this little candle because Yule is all about the return of the light, as the days are longer and the nights are shorter, and it's also the return of hope, of something a little bit more, yes, hopeful, optimistic, just like the White Witch. And I wanted to bring a bit of magic into your life. So, about me. I started my journey as a witch with astrology. When I was 14, I asked my mom for a very special gift for my birthday because I wanted to see an astrologer. And she said yes, but she wanted to come with me because you never know, you can actually meet some not very benevolent people. So we found an old lady who was an astrologer in France, and she made my birth chart. So she read my birth chart, and she talked a lot about me being a bit authoritarian, knowing what I wanted, but also very dreamy, and I had a bit of difficulties to let go, and it was very strange to have an old lady describing me like this, because normally people would say that I'm shy. They wouldn't say such things, they would just say that they would tell that I am shy and that's it. But she was like emphasizing on the fact that I had a bit of authoritarian energy within me, and I was a little bit possessive, and I was like, oh, she could see me through the layers, and she could really, I think, tap into some stuff that people might not usually see, and it was very interesting. It's true that sometimes I can be a little bit, I wouldn't say bossy, but as a child I always knew what I wanted, even though I was shy, and my family could say that when I said I didn't want something, that meant I didn't want it. And also she talked about the fact that I was very dreamy and I was prone to addictions. But she told me that because I was scared of drugs and this world of addictions, I wouldn't actually fall for, the normal drugs, but I would actually find a way to escape reality through my dreams. And she was right. Because I daydream a lot, and I can really like go into my little world of fantasy, mainly to escape reality, because a part of me never really liked this world. I thought that it was a bit too grey, not enough magical, and I couldn't really fit in. So I started to, create fantasy worlds and stuff and escape in those worlds. And what I like about astrology is that you can learn a lot about yourself, but there's nothing wrong with you. Like, you can have, let's say, a difficult configuration of planets, or maybe a lot of planets will make you shy. Will make you shy, or will make you a little bit too fiery, but that's not a bad thing. It's all about embracing your shadows, your excess, your deficiency, everything, and you can actually make something wonderful out of it. So she always told me there is no wrong or right birth chart. There is no right or wrong aspects between planets. There is just some stuff, and it's entirely up to you to do something great with it. So in astrology, you do have a lot of free will. And my first teacher of astrology always told me that it's entirely up to you how you play your cards. So your planets are your cards. They are the different energy within you, but it's entirely up to you what you do with it. And there's always a positive side to everything, also a negative one. But here again, it's all about what we choose. So I really liked it. And so after that, I studied with her. I studied astrology. She gave me some lessons, and then I carry on my own with books. And when I was 18 years old, I went to study in England. I studied philosophy for a year. I studied art and design as well, and I obviously learned English there. And this is also the time where I had a sort of spiritual awakening. I already had one with astrology, but I think England really helped me to tap into my spiritual, I would say, abilities or nature. And that was actually wonderful, because I met some people a bit weirdos like me, and they also had some spiritual interests, such as tarot. So they introduced me to oracle cards, to tarot readings, and I introduced them to astrology. So it was a bit of an exchange of magic tools. And since then I started to really I was very interested in all those magical stuff. And I've also been interested in plants, especially when I get sick. I like to use ginger, a lot of herbs, because I believe that nature has this magic remedies that we can all have access to. And so I consider myself to be a witch, but like I said, I feel like everybody is a witch or a wizard or a unicorn. You can actually be whatever you want to be. And I don't know, I've always been very, very attracted to the world of witches. I've always loved fantasy TV shows, fantasy books, and and I've always felt like drawn to tell stories. So I started to I wrote a book in French about a French. It was a French story about a fantasy world with fire beings, water beings, earth beings, and air beings. And I believe that I took my inspiration from astrology. And I realized that all characters I actually was talking about in this book was a part of me. And I could actually see that this character was, for instance, my sun in Gemini. This other character was my Venus in Taurus. And I just realized that human beings were a bit more complex than we thought. So somebody can describe you as an introvert, but maybe you will be extrovert in different situations. So you're both introvert and extrovert. And the same with when people tell you that you're shy, maybe you're not shy on stage. There are many artists who are very shy in their, and during interviews or in their day-to-day life, but once they are on stage, something magical happens. And this is the beauty of human being, is that we can be a walking contradictions. We can be both light and darkness, introvert and extrovert, male, female. We can have a part of us that is very feminine and receptive, but another one which is very masculine and out there in the world. So I just love to see the complexities of human beings, although sometimes it can be very difficult to live with all contradictions. Maybe there's a part of you that wants to go left, the other part wants to go right. It could be complicated, but that's also the beauty of being a magical human being. So in terms of astrology, I am a Gemini, which means that my sun was in Gemini when I was born. And if you're not very familiar with astrology, when you say you're a Sagittarius or a Leo, that means that your sun, when you were born, was in this specific sign. So you might say that you are, for instance, a Cancer or a Leo, but you're much more than that, because in astrology there's also the Moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, and other different elements, which might give you a glimpse of who you are. So I'm a Gemini, so my sun is in Gemini, but my moon is in Cancer, and my you call it in English rising sign, I think, is Leo, which makes something a little bit more complex, because it's like a painting with different colors. So me being a Gemini, me having my sun in Gemini, means that I am somebody who loves learning and teaching. Gemini sign, the Geminis tend to really love learning about different things, but they can be really superficial in their learning. Like, they love to learn everything about everything, but sometimes they like a bit of depth, because they don't have the time to only focus on one single subject. They have to see different things. They have to learn everything. They are really into their minds, and they love communication. And I can really see that with me, because I'm the kind of person who can start a book but never finish it, and I love talking. I also have some wounds around expressing myself. I can feel it emotionally, and I can see that in my birth chart, since I do have Chiron, which is the wounded healer in astrology. This specific element is also linked to my Gemini, which makes me both wanting to speak and very afraid to speak, because it is where I've been wounded according to astrology. So here again, there's a bit of a contradictions, but the healing comes when I speak. So this is also the reason why I love talking, and I'm doing what I'm doing right now, is because it's both something that is connected to my sun, so to my identity, since the sun is the identity, but it's also connected to my wound. So this is the reason why it's very healing for me to talk to you and to express my thoughts. And with my moon in Cancer, it makes me very, very sensitive and also intuitive. Moon in Cancer also represents caring, so caring for other people is the mother archetype, also the child archetype. So yeah, it makes me very sensitive. I'm much more introvert, so I have my sun, which is extrovert in Gemini, but I also have my moon, which is very introvert. So again, it's the contradictions that I can feel within me, and it's very nice to see how they dance together, the sun and the moon. Sometimes I feel much more like retreating from the world, because I feel like sometimes being with people is a bit overwhelming, and other times I'm losing my voice now. Other times I feel like being much more extrovert. So it's very funny how to see these two parts of me dancing with one another. So if you are interested in astrology, I'm planning to actually maybe teach you a little bit of the different planets, what they represent, and also what they can mean to you, because we all have different astrological combinations, and it's very interesting to see how similar we are, how different we are, and see all the different zodiac signs play within ourselves and express within ourselves. So yeah, so let me know if you're interested, because I sometimes feel like I want to make a whole course about this. And obviously about the witches stories, there's gonna be more in 2024. I'll definitely need the help of my sister with what I want to create next. As a Gemini, I like to, try different things, try something new. I still want to carry on the story, but obviously I like to bring some new elements, and I hope it's still entertaining for you. But it's gonna be 2024 is gonna be also a year for me where I will learn different things, and hopefully the technical aspects of what I want to do, it's not too difficult. But again, I'm very grateful because I have my sister, who is a professional videographer, on my side. So if I do have a problem, I can ask her to support me in this project. So I also wanted to make a tarot reading for you for the new year, because you know that I love tarot card reading, and I pulled 3 cards, and where are they? Here. And actually what I want to do today is I'd like you to focus on the 3 cards and to choose one. So this is the first one, This is the second one, and this is the third one. I pulled 3 major cards that represents the theme of 2024 for you. Again, this is only my interpretation, so if it doesn't speak to you, discard it. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you have fun with the interpretation, and if it resonates with you, well, you can add your own interpretation of the card. Okay, so have you chosen your card? So I'm going to pull the first one, which is the Judgment card. Okay, so the Judgment card is about a re-evaluation of your life. It's about, I think you say in English, taking inventory of your life. This is perfect because we are in Mercury retrograde at the moment, which means that things are slowing down a little bit. This is actually not a good time to start something new. It's more a great time to finish things and to evaluate your life a little bit. Sometimes things get a little bit more slow in order to for you to just sit down a little bit and ask yourself, do I want to keep this in my life? Do I want to change that? Is there some obsolete things in my life? Maybe there's some relationships I'm not really sure I want to keep them. You know, these are questions you want to ask yourself to make space for the new. So there's also an element of letting go of the past, but it's also just a time to reflect on your life and to really question if what you have at the moment is still aligned with yourself, or if you need to make some changes. I think it's also connected to life purpose. The Judgment is obviously we use our judgment to understand what we really want in life. And it's also connected to what matters to us, what gives us meaning in our life. There's this kind of celebration of life in this card of, I like to play music like this person because the music I play is the melody I've always wanted to play. So there's a need for us to feel more in harmony with the person we are, with how we express to the world. So again, this is the first card if you have picked that one. The second card is Death. Okay, you're not gonna die today. This card is sometimes feared, but it's actually quite connected to the first one. It's again letting go of the past to welcome the new. It's a card that is all about transformation. So in order for us to become the best version of ourselves, or to become the person we've always wanted to be, we need to let go of what no longer serves us. So again, it's also an evaluation of your life. What do you want to keep, or what do you want to discard and let go of? It's a beautiful phoenix on the card. You can see a phoenix who is actually being into transformation. So again, if you have experienced some difficulties in your life or challenges, although it's very hard to say, yeah, it was for your own benefit, when you are experiencing chaos, this is not fun, this is quite painful. So I don't want to tell you that, oh, this is amazing, because you're going to actually become stronger with all those challenges. First of all, I like to say that if this is something that is happening in your life, and if the pain is actually suffocating, I would like to validate this, because sometimes we are not validating each other's pain, which it makes it even more painful. When we experience some negative emotions, that's not fun. And later on, we can see how those emotions or how those challenges helped us along the way. But obviously, when you are in the middle of it, you don't want to have somebody telling you that was for your own benefit. So I'm not going to be the person who's going to tell you this. I'm just going to tell you that there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and sometimes the biggest challenges we face can lead to the life we've always wanted to have, or the person we've always wanted to become. So they're here for a reason. And then the third card is the moon, which is a card of intuition, but also of the past. So it's also connected to the two other cards. There can be some nostalgia in this card, and also some disillusion. You can see that this person is holding a mask. So the moon can be a bit tricky, because sometimes we are so overwhelmed with our emotions that we can't really see things objectively, or we might hold on to the past. And this card is about tuning in to our intuition and see things for what they really are. So sometimes we don't really want to see things, but once we see them in an objective light, this is when we are tuning to our moon energy in a very healthy way. So now we can still embrace the past, see how good it was, being a bit nostalgic, but without being overwhelmed by it. So again, it's about tuning in to our intuitions and our emotions without being overwhelmed and without drawing in a huge sea. So it's a bit of mastering our emotions to make the best of it, and to I'd say make wise decisions. So you're both, using your discernment, but your emotions play also a huge role in your decision and in making decisions. Okay, so I hope that it could maybe help you in some ways. I know this is not an easy thing to make a tarot reading for everyone, but I believe that we attract one another. So sometimes I feel attracted to a specific YouTube channel and there's a message for me, and maybe it's the same for you. You might be attracted to a specific channel or message or messenger, and you might resonate with the message or not. And but the idea is to always check in within yourself what is resonating with you, because I love magic tools, I love astrology, I love tarot reading, I love crystals, I love this, all this wonderful world of witchcraft, and at the same time we don't need those tools, because we have the answers within us, but they can really be helpful. It's just that we don't want to depend too much on them. And again, it's about checking in what resonates with you, what doesn't. Maybe you feel like you want to re-tap into those tools. Other times you might want to retreat a little bit from them to just tune in. So again, everything is very personal, every journey is personal. So yeah, but I hope that still can help you a tiny bit. If not with the cost, just with the relaxation and the entertainment. So yeah, I hope that little conversation helped you, or you found this conversation interesting. Let me know in the comment if you would like more of this, or if you're not interested in this type of ASMR relaxing conversation with a witchy girl. And just also, if you're interested, I still have my little potions on my website, and there's a 20% off for Christmas. I think I will run that sale until January, so if you want to have a potion, just feel free to visit my website. And yeah, thank you for your support, thank you for everything. I wish you a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year. Thank you again for your comments, your likes, your share, everything, because it helps me grow this channel, and it means the whole world to me. So thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I see you in 2024.